Okay, you are a TV writer, you're a screenwriter, right? You have a completed script, at least one, I'm imagining, if you've been at this for a while, even if you've been at it for a very short time, enough people gave you the advice that if you want to break into Hollywood, you need to have a script. You need to have a spec script, is what people call it, a speculative script, one that demonstrates to people what you are capable of as a writer. And if you have been trying to get a particular project made, like a movie or a TV show, excuse me, then you almost definitely have a spec script, because what you're trying to get people to do is buy into the idea of making your project into its fully fleshed version of itself, the one that people can actually go watch on TV or in theaters or on their phone or whatever, right? So you got a script, writing on a page. Yeah, you used Final Draft or Writer Duet or one of these screenwriting softwares to write a script. You think you have exhausted all of the channels to get your script made, right? You've sent it out to friends. Maybe you have an agent or a manager that you've sent it to. Maybe you've shared it with some of your networking contacts in the industry, your colleagues. Maybe you've sent it to people who don't work in the industry at all because you're so desperate at this point to get someone to invest in your script. And what's come back has been a bunch of empty promises and probably a lot of silence. And so you're starting to feel like that thing that you felt so excited about at one point in time, your script, right? That thing that was giving you this high as you were writing it. And even when you were done with it, when you first started sharing it with people and you got some positive feedback, maybe you got into a film festival, maybe you got a couple awards for your script, maybe it was listed on the blacklist, right? You got so excited about this thing. And now, as time is going by and nothing's actually happening for you or the project, you're starting to feel like this is over, okay? It's not over. I'm about to explain to you why the only person who can move your project forward is you, and exactly how to do that. Before I do, let me introduce myself. I'm Chad Sanders, at Chadsand on Instagram. You know me as a TV writer, screenwriter, podcaster, author. I have written for the gamut of this entertainment industry. Okay, you know that already. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about you and your script. Okay. So now you think your script is dead in the water. Here's the thing. Nobody has actually truly seen your project, meaning it never even had a chance in today's market, because a script floating around in people's phones as a PDF, in people's email inboxes as a PDF, that is like almost nothing today. That is like having next to nothing floating around in this industry, meaning people's imaginations today and attention spans are not built anymore to read a script and then extrapolate and project what that script could look like on a big screen. A script alone is not enough to inspire anybody, your friend, your mom, an executive, an actor, to see the promise of what you are trying to make. Now, if it had a huge A-list actor attached to it, like Timothy Chalamet, now you would be having a different conversation, right? The Rock, Kevin Hart, someone who comes with an audience of 200 million plus people, or someone like Timothy Chalamet who just comes with he's the person of the moment where everybody's like rushing to the ball because they think he's prestigious, they think he'll help them win awards. If it doesn't have one of those things attached to it, it's just words on a page to people, which they may or may not ever read. And so what you have to do, you are going to have to take on the burden of making it real for them, which is to say, you have to turn your script into something they can watch, not something that they read, which is not altogether different than how this industry was a few years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. It's a Hollywood urban legend, basically. It is made up that the way people used to make sales in this industry was by making their screenplay better and then getting people to invest because the writing was so good. It was always because someone or something was attached to it, a production company of huge esteem and leverage, a financier, an actor, someone was attached to it that made it undeniable to pass through the gate to go into a studio or a network who would pay for it, right? Today, the undeniability is attached to audience, meaning your script has to have people, humans, consumers out there who are excited about your project. That's the leverage that passes you through the gate. It's not enough to have a B, C, D, or E level actor or director attached to your thing anymore. It's just not. It's not enough to have a cool production company attached to your thing anymore. It's just not. Your thing needs to have legs with actual consumers. And the way that you build that leverage, the way that you build that connection is by turning your script into something people can watch. We're calling that today, many people are calling that a short film, a vertical series, a microdrama, right? Those are all just new terms for a visual representation of your script that people can watch on social media. People want to be able, the consumer wants to be able to scroll through and slurp up your story in mass, right? Because we all have that addiction attention thing now where we just want more of the thing we like to the point that we almost want to vomit. That's how people want to watch your script today. That's how people want to consume your script today. And so what you're going to do to bring new life to that pilot you wrote, to that feature film you wrote, the one that had so much promise, the one that you were so excited to tell your friends about, the one that you were so inspired to write, the one that you thought was going to break you into this industry, you're going to take that script and you are going to break it down into 30 sequential pieces from beginning to end. Now, what's helpful to you is that scenes in and of themselves are supposed to be complete stories told, where the entirety of all the scenes make up the photo mosaic that is the movie or TV show. But in other words, a scene should have a beginning, middle, and end. It should have tension. It should have stakes. It should have a character or characters who we are connected to, who we are behind. And if your scenes have been written as such, as they're supposed to, then each one of them should easily be able to be carved down into standalone pieces that you will roll out as your own vertical series on socials. In other words, episode 1 is the first scene of your TV pilot or movie, okay? It introduces the characters, the stakes, the tension, the tone, all the pieces of a TV show or movie in full should be therein in your first scene. And that scene, including the cliffhanger that makes somebody want to watch to the next scene, you're going to shoot that. You're going to make that with the smallest budget possible. All right? Meaning, if you can make it for free, that's what you're going to do. If you can make it for $100, that's what you're going to do. If you got to play every role in that scene and do some cute camera work with your phone where you shoot yourself saying ba 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 and then ba 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 ba, right? And then cut those together so it's you being two different characters and then roll that out, meaning finish that scene, put it out on socials. Hello, this is my episode 1 of my project ... Stay tuned for episode 2, right? If you need to do that, that's how you're going to roll out your vertical series, which is, for you, the person with a completed script, your vertical series, right? Your microdrama, as they call it, are the individual episodes cut up, meaning individual scenes of your show or movie cut up into individual episodes and rolled out on socials. I'm trying to be so clear about what we're talking about here. You are carving up your cake into individual slices and serving it to the audience one by one until they are in love with your cake, right? Now, while that's happening, you are going to build a followership. Your show is going to build an audience, and you're going to start getting noticed by people who work for these microdrama apps, people who work at studios and networks, who are scouring the internet looking for the next big creator who is building an audience for a show that they can invest in before it gets huge before it explodes to the point where they can't invest in it anymore. And then they're going to creep in your DMs, or they're going to find an email in your bio, or they're going to find somebody who knows you and reach out to them and say, hey, can you get me in touch with so-and-so? We'd really like to have a conversation about how we can turn Vertical Series X into Vertical Series X, the movie, or Vertical Series X on Netflix. And now you have resuscitated that script that you thought was dead in the water because you took on the burden of making it real, because you used a small amount of your resources to show people what that world was instead of just asking them to imagine it by reading the words on the page. That is who is going to, the people who will do that are going to be the people who break themselves, who blast themselves off into the future of Hollywood. I'm Chad Sanders. I'm at Chadsand on Instagram. If you want to learn directly from me in a live environment how to do this, please go sign up for How to Launch Your Vertical Series in 2026. That is my live Zoom call this Friday at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Time, where I'm going to walk people through step by step how to take their existing script, carve it up into scenes, and launch it as a vertical series. All right? I'll see you there. The link is in my bio on Instagram at Chadsand, or you can sign up in the caption of this video. I got 10 more videos like this in this catalog. Go watch them all. We are building a language. We're building a world here where we can connect and communicate around these concepts. I want you to be a part of it. Goodbye.